Hello, everyone. So today I'm going to attempt to uh, prepare some saguaro cactus seeds for germination. And this isn't really exactly a how-to video. It's more of an experimental video. And um, so first of all, my mom acquired these seeds and she mailed them to me. And this is what she received. Actually, let me show you the picture first. Okay, so this is a picture of my mom standing in front of the actual saguaro cactus. And this is in someone's front yard that she happened to be in the neighborhood, and she's very social, and she spoke to the owner about the cactus, telling him how much she loved it. And so he actually gave her some seeds from this saguaro, and he told her how to start them. And he also said that his father had started this tree years ago from a seed, I don't know, 50 years ago or something. And look how big it is now. It's just unbelievable. And so these are the seeds that he gave her. And it was actually probably a little bit bigger because she told me it was as big as her thumb. And she tried the method that he told her, which was in the egg carton shells. She tried his method and she wasn't successful. So she mailed these to me, and this is what he gave her, what's left of it. And it looks like it's encased in the fruit. And if you look closely, you can see all those little seeds. And last night I kind of whittled the little seeds out of there, and I cleaned them up and I soaked them overnight. And so these are the ones that I cleaned up. It took some work getting them out of there, but these are them. And some of them do still have a tiny little bit of pulp on there, unfortunately, which I just know that's going to be a problem for mold. And I want to try to avoid mold as much as possible. But these are them. So they're ready to go. And I have started cactus seeds before with success using a Tupperware container and sterilizing the soil. But this time I wanted to try something easier. I wanted to try my baggie and paper towel method. And so the first thing that's important is that you have clean hands, which, let me wash my hands again, because after touching this, my hands just feel tacky again. So I'm gonna pause right here and wash my hands one more time. All right, so I cleaned my hands, I'm ready to go. All right, so the materials I'm gonna use, I'm using water, and this is distilled water just to be safe, and a Sharpie. I'm using ziplock sandwich bags, and I'm using half sheet paper towels, and I have my seeds, and also I have a straw, which is optional, but I like to use my little straw trick. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to label my baggie. And I like to put the date. I'm doing 2 baggies. And the reason I'm doing 2 is because I'm going to experiment by keeping one in the home, and then one, I'm just gonna put it in the car because it's summertime and it's hot outside. So I'm just gonna experiment and see how those ones do. Okay, so after you label your baggies, then you get your paper towel. And I love the half sheet paper towel because it fits perfectly inside of the sandwich bag. And you fold it in half. You don't have to fold it in half, but I like to, you can cut it in half if you want, but I just like to fold it because it's easier than cutting it. And it fits perfectly inside. And I don't usually do this, but this time, just to be extra safe, I actually microwaved these paper towels. Okay, so now I'm going to put these inside dry because it's easy to put them in the baggie when they're dry. All right, and see how well that half sheet fits inside of the baggie. All right, so next I'm going to wet the paper towel. So I'm going to add some water. And like I said, this time I'm using distilled water. I usually don't. But I'm just trying to create a sterile environment for these seeds because I don't know how long I'm going to have to keep them in here because I've never germinated them before and I don't know if they're going to take extra long. Okay, so I added water. I like to get the water, saturate the towel, not to where the water is pooling. So I just want to make sure I don't have too much water. If I put too much water, then I usually pour out the excess, which I do have a little bit too much water because you can see it kind of pulling here. So I'm just gonna pour out the excess water. Okay. All right, so that should be good. And let me get the other one ready. Definitely going to need to put more water in here. Almost there. Okay, that is perfect. I got it saturated with the water from corner to corner, which is just how I like it. Okay, so we are ready to go. Okay, so next I'm going to insert the seeds. And I like to open up my baggie and kind of hold it up high so that there's air in there and so that the seeds don't stick to the top. Sometimes they stick, but if they do, it's not a problem. I just tap them back down. Okay, so I'm just gonna moisten my fingertip and start picking up the seeds one by one. Just touch it and it sticks to my moistened fingertip. And place them inside of there. And I like to just kind of put them almost in rows. And I don't usually do it perfect. And with the extra seeds that I have, if this doesn't work, then I will try the other method of planting them in soil. I really hope these germinate. Yet at the same time, I hope all of them don't germinate, because what am I going to do with all of these saguaro? All right, so they're all in, and what I like to do is my little straw trick. So I like to keep a little bit of air in there. I'm gonna seal it from this side over and leave this part open so I can fit my straw in there. All right, and then I'm gonna take a deep breath. I'm gonna blow, fill it with air, and then pull the straw out with my teeth and seal the rest of the way. So deep breath. All right, done. So that one is done. There's a little seed sticking to the top, but that's all I did is popped it back down. All right, so that one's done. And then I'm gonna go ahead and do this one for the car. And I'm done with that one. And this one's gonna go in the car. And this one's a total experiment. It's July, so it's gonna be hot in the car. So I don't know, these might get cooked, but I got this idea from someone who told me that they put them in the car to germinate faster, and I've never tried it. So this is my experiment, and I'll see what happens with these. Okay, and I do still have some extra seeds here. I will just go ahead and put these in soil and take my chances, see what happens. All right, if any of this works, stick around and I will show you in a few. Hello everyone. So I'm so excited to tell you it worked. My baggie and paper towel method for trying to germinate these saguaro cactus has worked. And when I got in my car today to go to work, and today's July 3rd, so just 3 days later, I picked up this baggie and I started looking at it, and I just could not believe my eyes that I already have germination. And it's kind of hard to see because this bag has condensation on it, but maybe you can try to look and see. You can see there's a few seeds here that have started germinating. And I counted about 7 earlier today. It was a lot easier to see it today because there wasn't as much condensation. And I would say it was 93 degrees today, and in my car it was a lot hotter, so it was probably over 100 degrees inside of my car. And I had these inside of my car on the floorboard with a windshield shade up in my windshield because I don't want these to get cooked in the sun. And then so after I got off work, I just couldn't wait to show you these, and I decided to look at my other baggie that I have in the home, and oh my gosh, these ones have been germinating too. So these are the ones that I had in the house, and I'm just blown away. So hopefully I can show you. these ones a little more easily because there is condensation, but not as much condensation. Okay, can you see that little guy right there? He's got a little lip on him. All right, I got this guy right here. This guy right here is germinating. This guy right here is starting to germinate. Nothing there. This guy looks like he's starting to break open. Nothing going on with that one. This one is breaking open. This one has germinated. There's a little root coming out of there. This one looks like he's starting to crack open. Nothing there. Gotta check this guy out. This is really awesome. He's already starting to turn a little green. I had these ones underneath my lamp, which I turn it on and off at times. All right, and then there's two in this shot. I also, with the extra seeds that I had, I went ahead and I put them in some soil in a little Tupperware container. And I'm not going to open this yet. I'm just going to keep it sealed. And as far as my future plans, I'm just going to keep these in here for quite a while. But with these Ziploc baggies, I'm going to wait till more of them germinate. And what I would like to do is, once most of them have germinated, instead of keeping them in here for a long time, I want to take them out as soon as possible just to get them acclimated. And I'll keep you updated on what I decide to do. All right, and I'll check back with you soon. All right, another update. Today is July 9th, and I started these seedlings on July 1st. And so it's been 8 days since I've started germinating these little saguaro seedlings in my Ziploc baggies. And I wanted to give you an update what they're looking like after 8 days. And these are them. They're looking really good. And I was looking really close with my magnifying glass, and there was only, in this baggie, I only saw 2 seeds that looked like they may not have germinated yet. And that was this one. And there's one up here too, I think this one. But all of the other seedlings have cracked open. You know, they're still, like this one, for example, has cracked open. So he's doing something. So I had a really good success rate using these Ziploc baggies with the paper towel. So this was this baggie, and let me show you the other one. The one that I had started in the car. Since the last video, I just kept this one in the house. I didn't want it to cook because it really is hot in the car. I just didn't want to risk it. And I was looking up close with these, and I had a really good success rate with all of these, almost all of these germinating. I think I only saw 2 of them that had not cracked open yet. A lot of these still have cracked open recently because they haven't turned green yet. These ones are all cracked open. they're interesting because, like this one, for example, he's kind of, his root is at the bottom here, and then he's kind of forked off at the top, like it looks like two little starter leaves. And you can see that same shape in many of these. There are those little saguaro seedlings. I'm so excited about them. And I want to get these out of here as soon as possible and plant them in soil. And then the other ones that I started in a little container, I haven't opened this yet, but I can tell that these ones are doing great too, just by tilting it to the side. You can see the green in there. And I had sterilized the soil also. I just popped it in the microwave before adding it in here. And just to give you an idea of what's going on in there, it looks like I have quite a few growing in there. So it just seems like overall these are very easy to germinate, and I don't know why I waited so long. I was dreading trying to germinate them because I thought it would take a long time to start them, but apparently I shouldn't have waited. I should have just started right away as soon as I got them. So I just counted all of the green ones that I have, and within these two baggies, oh my goodness, I have 61 seedlings, not counting how many are in here. So, oh my goodness, what am I going to do with all of these saguaro? Hopefully all of them don't make it. I am very excited to see them grow. This is very exciting. One other thing I wanted to show you. This is the other picture of the Saguaro Cactus that these seeds had come from. So it's a really tall tree from someone's front yard. And that's it. I'm not sure what type of saguaro it is, but at least I have a picture to see what it looks like. All right, I couldn't resist. I had to open up the container just to show you, and now we can have a really good look at these ones that were in my little Tupperware container here. And these are them. These ones are looking really good. They're very bright green. Have a couple of little clusters of them here. And you know what? I think I'm just going to start acclimating these ones to the air. They're so cute. It looks like right in the center there's a little white dot, and hopefully that's going to be where the main stem comes out, is right out of the center. That's them. They look really good. All right, so I'm potting up my seedlings from my ziplock baggie, my saguaros, and there was a change of plans with how I was acclimating these to the air because it turns out I have a fungus gnat problem, so I'm doing things a little differently. Instead of exposing them to the air, I'm putting them in these, I'm putting my little pots into a little baggie, kind of creating a greenhouse effect and protecting them from the fungus gnats getting in. Because I don't want the fungus gnats to lay eggs in the soil, and I'm trying to prevent the larvae from eating the tiny roots. So change of plans. I'm kind of experimenting with how I'm planting these. I'm doing a whole bunch of different containers and pots. And this one is just a produce, a blueberry container. And what I've been trying out is all of this is cactus potting mix. And I'm just taking the little saguaros and I'm gonna nest them into that. I had it as a 2-ply, so I'm just peeling off the back ply. Now it's 1-ply paper towel, and this way it's easy just to tear them off of there. I leave some of the paper towel on there. You can see that little white root, because the root kind of, if it doesn't come off easily, I just leave it in the paper towel. So it's attached to the root. And so this is what I've been doing. I'm just kind of gonna nest it gently into the soil, the root side down. So the root is nested into the cactus soil. And then what I've been doing is I have seed starter mix. So this is my seed starter mix. It's more fine. And I just take a little bit of that. And I just kind of cover up the root with that. And just kind of nest it in there. So this is kind of tedious, but this is how I'm doing this batch of saguaros. And I'm going to try to stand him upright, make him happy. There he is. So I'm going to do the rest of these. This one came loose from the paper towel, and that's his little root system. Just going to drop him right in there. And then I'll cover him up with the seed starter. All right, so they're all nested in the soil, and I'm just adding a little water to each one of them, watering them gently. All right, so this batch is done, and I'm just gonna put the lid on it and then put it inside of a Ziplock baggie. Put a little bit of air in the baggie and then forget about these. I'm also going to experiment with another batch and just put it directly outside and just see what happens, if they make it or not.